Welcome everybody. Glad that you're here for yoga this week. I'm excited to have you here. All you need today is a chair. We've been using some other tools in the past weeks, but this week you just need a chair. And I want to share with you just a little bit of a concept about the ability that each of us has to offer goodness. And in a world where it might seem like there's just so much going on that doesn't feel good, we can give goodness. And when we give goodness, we know that we can also receive goodness. So in today's practice, I want to be thinking about how we can open up our heart, how we can make ourselves a little bit more freer to be kind and to be a giver of goodness. I joke that one of my job titles is being a giver of goodness because I think the world needs goodness. So when we move through the practice today, I want you to really be focusing on the chest and how you can allow yourself to push away that negativity that we talk about so much and to pour out goodness. It's so simple. And that goodness can look like so many things. It can look like patience, it can look like kindness, it can be acts of service, it can be generosity, it can just be a nice thought about somebody. And that can be enough to offer goodness. So that's where we're going to go today. We're going to start by sitting tall or being seated in your chair. Don't worry so much about the legs today. We're really going to be focusing around the heart. Last week, we spent a lot of time with the legs. So I want to make sure that we balance out our body. So this week, we're going to really focus on the heart and then coming back into that familiar sequence that just feels good in the body, because when we feel good, we're more likely to do good. All right, let's get started. Sit really tall. My seat's a little noisy, so you'll hear it rustling around. It's a metal folding chair. All right, you don't need fancy equipment to make this happen. I want you to start to roll your shoulders. For many of us, our shoulders are hunched forward. So we're gonna take them up by the ears and then down the back. Try that again. Up by the ears and down the back. Really exaggerate those shoulders rolling. You might feel some popping, just let it be. 3 more. 2 more big circles. Last one. Perfect. And we're going to begin to lift our arms. So I have like butterfly wings, I like to call them, but watch what's going to happen. I'm going to flip my wings this way like a cactus and then flip them back. So I'm really rotating through the shoulder, up and over. So I go up and over, and then I scoop up and over. So my spine is staying pretty stable here, not changing the shape of my spine. I'm just working the shoulders at this point. You'll do 3 more. Open, and then close. And open, and then close. 1 more. Beautiful. And now bring your arms down. We're going to drop an ear by a shoulder. So remember, anytime in the practice, if you're not able to do a certain movement, that's okay. Do what you can. Always do what you can. Bring your chin back to center and drop it. In my classes, remember, I typically have 4 things that we cover. We breathe together, we move together, we build community together, and we are grateful together. I want you to just turn your head and look over your shoulder. And then the other side. So we're really loosening up the neck here. And we're going to come back to center and we're going to tick-tock again. And so as we work our neck here, I want you to be thinking, how does your mind feel? Look over a shoulder. Look over another shoulder. 1 more time, we're going to drop. How's your body feel today? Turn. Turn. Back to center. How's your spirit? How's your spirit? If we don't know how we are, we really don't know what we need. And sometimes we need something, and sometimes we need to rest, we need a friend, we need to do something to stimulate our mind. But if we don't ever stop and just say, how am I today? We often don't know. Take your right arm and bring it up high and then up and over. So here's where we're going to start to work through the spine just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to reach a little bit more and then really bend. You can see I'm really bent over. Come back to center and lower it. Let's try the other side. We're gonna reach high, over. Now reach really high and way over. Do you feel how you just created so much space back there? Let's try it again the other side. So we're gonna do an up first, then a slight over, then an up again, and a real big over. Nice, come back and lower. Let's try the other side. So we lift, we bend, just a little tiny opening there, and then we lift again, and then we really stretch over. Come back to center. So if you're with somebody doing this practice together and you check in with yourself, check in with them, or check in with your family, or check in with your friends. It's really important to feel a sense of community and to feel connected with people right now. So I'm going to take my hands and they're going to come towards you like a slice, okay? Beautiful. And now I'm going to open them like a T, as big as I can. And now I'm going to bring them back to my chest. Palms touch. I slice out and I open. Try that again. Bring your hands together. Push out. Nice. And then open. 2 more of those. Close. Push. Open. 1 more. Close. Push, open, and now just lower. So you should start to feel some opening here through the chest and through the shoulders particularly. But let's move down the spine a little bit. And I want you to put your hands on your lap and then think about your sternum, which is right about in the center of your chest. It's where your rib cages come together in that wishbone shape. And so we're gonna take our sternum, we're gonna pull it in. This forces our spine to round in the back, okay? So you should feel a separation in your shoulder blades. And now you're gonna push your chest forward, aim that sternum forward and lift your nose. Pull your sternum in, straighten your arms around your spine. My hands are over my knees. So it gives me a little leverage. Then I bend my elbows and I lift my nose. So continue like that, nice and slow. You'll notice that your sitting bones, which are those tiny little bones at the bottom of your pelvis, your butt bones, those are moving. You're tucking them under when you round, flaring them back when you lift. Do 2 more. Just opening and closing the spine here. Nice, last one. And sit tall. Now we're gonna move just a little bit lower into the belly. And this is gonna give us some opening through the middle of our trunk so that then we can really start to fine tune some of that area of our chest that we wanna open, especially as it relates to our heart. And what we know as a yogi is that sometimes in our lifetime when we feel a lot of pain, whether that's emotional or physical, we tend to put like a little barrier around our heart. We're gonna try to undo that today, just a little bit, so that the more we undo and more we open, we actually give the world a little bit more of ourselves in the form of goodness and in the form of light. So I want you to think about your stomach here, and it can be big and full and perfect, or it can be slender and tiny. It's not about the size of your belly. It's about this beautiful area of your body that really helps us to create strong structure, but also it's our digestive system and it's all the good stuff. So we're gonna bring our hands together. I like to hook my hands and I'm gonna start to twist here. And I'm gonna be thinking about my belly button turning and turning. Really getting that washing machine action, squeezing out my lunch, my breakfast, really helping to stimulate my digestion, but it also works our spine. Our spine gets some movement, actually feel more vitality and more energy. So it's really great to twist every single day. 3 more. 2 more, really wrap that belly button around. Last one, and come back to center. So now I'm gonna go ahead and lean slightly forward. I'm gonna get a stretch through my back. I'm gonna come just a little bit closer to you. Go ahead and take your right arm and just rest it on your knee. So I just have sort of this relaxed position as if I'm just watching television. I'm gonna lean forward a little bit more. And then my left arm is gonna reach high to the sky. A lot of times we reach over our head, but we're actually going to twist a little bit. So I want you to take your left arm to the ceiling and then turn slightly open. So I'm turning to the left. You'll feel a big stretch here through your left side body. And then we're going to switch. So you'll come up, get stable in your spine, drop your left elbow to your left thigh bone. Right arm goes high. And rather than reaching towards your head, you're actually going to reach behind you, and it should feel pretty darn amazing. Nice. We're going to do it one more time each side. So right arm goes down, we rest, left arm goes up, and then we reach back, maybe more back than you did the first time. Let's try the other side. Left arm goes down, right arm goes up, and then we reach way back. Perfect. And now sit really tall. So we're really starting to open up through the chest and through the spine. We're going to swim backwards here. Just swimming a little bit, getting that shoulder. And now I want you to notice how your chest and your sternum bone begin to turn. So we're turning as we swim. And you're going to do 3 more full strokes, 2 more. Nice. Last one. We're going to go back to shore. So we scoop over. This is really important for spine health, shoulder health. Really works our posture here. We've got 3 more. Up and over. 2 more. Up and over. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Last one. Up and over. And then sit tall. So you can see we're starting to get a little bit of energy through the upper body. Now I'm sitting really close to the edge of my seat. So if you're sitting back against the back of your chair, scoot your cheeks forward. And then we're going to reach behind and grab the chair. So I'm going to grab the back of my chair that my back would be sitting on. And then I'm going to lean forward towards you. And I'm getting a nice stretch for my arms, but also for my back with some support. It feels nice. Perfect. And now drop your chin to your chest. Bring your nose back up and sit really tall. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm just going to place it behind my body on the seat of my chair. I'm going to lean back onto that straight arm, and my left arm is going to reach up to the sky. Once it gets as high as it's going to go, I'm going to start to lift my nose up and lean back. So I'm giving a little bit of a back bend with support. I'm propping my body weight on my right arm, and I'm allowing my heart to lift to the sky. Nice. Come back to center. Sometimes we get a little bit of emotional release there, even a little bit nauseous, a little bit dizzy. So my left hand's going to find the seat. My right arm goes forward. I'm going to lean back and reach up. Beautiful. And then go ahead and come back. Nice. You feel that elongation of the front part of our body. It's so awesome. So we're going to do a little bit of some brain work that also helps with our shoulder, but it also stimulates our brain, helps with balance. So we're going to take our right arm, and if we're just stirring a cake, like a giant, let's say chocolate cake today. So we're going to circle, and notice that I'm taking all the way across my body, not just circling on my right side. I'm scooping all the way around. Nice smooth circle, a big cake, a big chocolate cake. We're going to do 5 more, 4 more, 3, 2, pause, go the opposite way, same arm. We're going to just reach over and around, smooth circles. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, last one, let it fall. Just let it dangle like spaghetti. Let's take the left arm and start making some frosting to go with the cake. And I say a chocolate cake should always have chocolate frosting. So we're going to start stirring. 5, 4, 3, 2, perfect. Go the other way. Nice. 5, 4, all the way across your body. 3, 2, last one, let that arm fall. So now really reach fingertips towards the floor. Really feel the long arm muscles. So we're really opening up the biceps. Now we're gonna mix it up. So we're gonna take cake and frosting, and really reach across the body. If this is challenging for you, it would be indicative that you probably need to be doing it more often. If it's easy for you, you can make it harder by closing your eyes. Perfect. Do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, pause, reverse your direction. That's where we often get a little bit jumbled, but that means your brain's working really hard. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. Last one, arms come down. So I want to circle back to the sequence that is a familiar sequence that I teach often, especially in a chair class. What it does is we piece together different postures, and it really helps our body start to come alive and come into integration. So I'm going to guide you through it the first time. We'll go really slow, and then we'll pick up the pace slightly and link it more like breath per movement. And then we're going to take a couple of those postures and really look at them as it relates to the heart. So I'm going to turn slightly just so that you can see when we come to that waterfall position. The waterfall, I'm basically putting my belly right on top of my knees and I'm folding over. Ideally, it's great to touch the floor if you can, or your toes, but if you can't reach your floor or your toes, that's okay. Just reach down as far as you can and then come back up. So we're going to start with mountain pose. And mountain pose is that strong sense of presence. Remember, the mountain reminds us that no matter what storm is going on, we can remain strong, we can remain solid and in our presence. So we all have stuff going on in our lives, and the country has stuff going on, and the world has stuff going on. But in the midst of that, we can be strong. So ground into your feet, elevate your spine, lift your arms, and breathe. Breathe in your strength. It's a powerful pose. Take another breath in, and then bring your arms down. So that's the first posture in our sequence. And mountain pose represents strength. The next pose is going to be cactus. Cactus is where we bend our elbows, and our fingers represent those little thorns on a cactus that protects it. And so the symbolism of a cactus pose is that this is our protection from negativity, that we get to say no thanks to negativity. We are givers of goodness, and we are going to cultivate goodness in our spirit today. So we're going to actually push away some negativity. We all have it. And we just say, not in my world right now, not in my world. So we push away negativity, strong shoulders, 3 more, 2 more, last one, arms down. So we have 2 postures now as part of our sequence. We have mountain for strength, cactus to push away negativity. I'm going to come into tree pose, and there's a lot of variations of tree, but my favorite tree pose I love to teach. So you make the A-OK sign. Everything is good. The more we speak it, the more it is. And then you start to grow your branches out. And they can be up or down, or some elm trees start out here and then they go here. You can be whatever kind of tree you want to be. And then you might even lean back slightly and lift up a leg. So here's our tree pose. And the tree pose represents our willingness to grow. No matter how old we are or what we've been through in life, we can always grow. Take a big breath in, lift, 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 and then bring your arms down. So we have mountain for strength, cactus to push out negativity, tree pose to help us remember to grow. Now we move into bird pose. And I love bird pose because birds represent just freedom. They can fly from branch to branch, from tree to tree, fence post to fence post. They're not always stuck in one way of thinking or doing. So the bird pose really tells me that I have the freedom to go wherever I want. And if I can't physically go wherever I want, I can certainly use my mind. So to come into bird pose, we're going to make an X with our arms, but it's not just like fluttering our wings here. We're really pushing arm against arm, and that's strengthening some of that inner muscle work around the shoulder joint that helps our shoulders from being rounded. So it's really important to make this somewhat difficult as you do your bird pose. And you'll do 3 more of those. Nice. And then bring your arms down. So that's 4. We're just going to keep layering this on, making beautiful sentence or sequence. So after bird pose is where we come into that waterfall. So for a waterfall pose, we're going to go back up the mountain because waterfalls begin at the top. And then we lean forward and we touch the floor. So I'm just going to round and touch. And then I'm going to come back up the mountain. Beautiful. And now lean forward, sweep the floor, touch, touch, touch. Come back up the mountain. And now touch, touch, touch. Beautiful. Back up the mountain and lower your arms. After waterfall, we come into this ginormous light of a star. And so a star looks like our legs separate just a little bit, like we're sitting on a big horse. And our arms reach up and then they reach back. You can see when I do that, my chest is just shining so bright towards you, telling the world, I am bright. I can be whatever I want to be. I can shine. I'm big and I'm bold and I'm pure light. Take another breath and bring your arms down. So you can feel in star pose, we get a huge expansion through the chest. One of my favorite postures. After star pose, we come into this sort of powerful dynamic 2-part pose. First, we put our hands together like we're holding onto a bow. And then we pull our arrow way back and we really stretch our elbow behind. And then we start to aim up for our dreams. No matter how old you are, you can have dreams. How young you are, you can have dreams. Grab your bow and your other arrow gets pulled way back, as far back as your elbow will go. And then you bring your hands together and we stop for a moment at the heart. The heart is who we are. It is beyond our physical form. It's our personality. It's our essence. It's our spirit. It's our kindness and our goodness. So we always come back to the heart just to say, hey, even if some of these postures don't feel great in my body or I can't do them, I have a beautiful heart. So we're going to open up our arms and like we're holding on to compassion, this big amount of compassion for the world. We're going to tip over, wrap our arms, just one arm around our head. This is called peaceful warrior. It's kind of bringing peace into our mind as we give away compassion. So then we open up again, grab some more compassion. And we do the other side. We literally let our arm rest on top of our head for peaceful thoughts, peaceful words. And then we open up again. And now we get to love who we are. So we squeeze really tight. Doctors say we need 10 hugs a day. So we're going to start building up our collection of hugs for the day. Wrap the other way. Squeeze. Open up big. Come back to our heart. That's our sequence. So it's a beautiful mixture of open and closing of our heart space, really lengthening and contracting our musculature. It's just a beautiful sequence. So we're going to come into that one breath, one movement. I'm going to guide you through it. And I want you to just sort of think about all that you are and all that you can give the world today. And then we're going to slow down and we'll break down a couple of the poses. And I want to talk to you about what it means to give and receive. And are we in balance? So we're going to take a breath in and become that mountain pose. And then you will breathe out and make your cactus and push out negativity. Make your A-OK sign, breathe in and become a tree. Breathe out, become a bird. Breathe in, up the mountain. Breathe out, waterfall, lean forward. Breathe in, a star. Reach way back, shine your light. Breathe out, your hands touch. Breathe in, we pull the bow and chase our dreams. Breathe out, they touch. And then we pull, pull, and pull, other arm. And then we stop at our heart for a second. Then we grab a whole bunch of compassion. We bring peace into our thoughts. We grab a whole bunch of compassion. We bring peace into our words. And then we open up for love. And then we wrap it around ourselves. And we open up for love. And we wrap and wrap. Let's do it again. Open up. Stop at your heart. Here we go. Breathe in, mountain. Strength. Breathe out, cactus, push away, protect. Breathe in a tree and grow. Breathe out a bird and become free of worries. Breathe in the mountain. Breathe out the waterfall. Breathe in the star. Breathe out, hands touch. Breathe in and pull your arrow for dreams. Breathe out, hands touch. Breathe in, chase your dreams. Breathe out at the heart. Breathe in, compassion. Breathe out, peaceful mind. Breathe in, compassion. Breathe out, peaceful words. Breathe in, so much love. Breathe out, wrap your body with love. Breathe in, love. Give yourself a lot. Breathe in and return to the heart. So you can feel the aliveness of who you are when you come into that sequence. Let's break down that bow and arrow just a little bit. I want you to focus specifically on your chest, your ribs, and shoulders here. Remember, this is all about opening up the heart. So we're stretching and countering. What happens to us as we naturally age, we start to round here. Okay, and a lot of it is because we have jobs that require us to be looking down. A lot of it has to do with confidence. If we're not sure about ourselves, we tend to be guarded. If we have a lot of emotional pain, we're really guarded. And so the work of today's class is to remember first and foremost your goodness. And then second, see if you can't counter some of that conditioning to hunch and straighten your spine. I'm just going to turn for a moment. You can see how straight my spine is. And I work really hard to not let myself slump because I want to maintain my center of gravity as I get older so that I don't have a high risk for falling. Plus, I feel like when I have my shoulders back and my heart open, I'm ready for the day and I'm just in a better place to take on what the day offers. So let's come to bow and arrow. You're going to bring your hands together. I'm going to turn slightly, and it's nice for you to turn too because then you start to get a little rotation through your chest and your belly. So my hands are together. I'm going to pull one of my arms back, and that becomes that arrow. And the bow is in my left hand, and I'm going to start to tip and reach up. So my elbow is way back, and my arm is way high. Go ahead and try it on the other side. Touch your hands, pull back, like really pull that bow and arrow. I've never shot a bow and arrow, and then bring your hands together. But I picture it to be not as easy as it looks. I think you really have to yank back. So if you've shot a bow and arrow or ever done that, tell me, because I'm pretty sure you have to work hard. Let's try it one more time. So pull, 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 elbow goes way back there, and then begin to lift. We get a twist and an extension. Other side, pull way back. And now lift, 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 and come on down. So the other posture that I want to break down today, star pose. And I love star pose because of its expansion of the chest. It's everything that this isn't. And a lot of times I work with people who don't want to shine bright. They don't want to go there, but be who you are. And every single star in the universe is different and bright in its own way. So let's kind of get rid of that idea that we're not good enough, or that we shouldn't be so bright, that something's wrong with us. Let's just shine. Shine as we're designed to shine. So you're going to take your legs wide like you're on a horse. I have a big giant horse. And then my arms are going to come up first. And then they're going to reach back. And I'm actually sticking my belly towards you. I'm going to turn just a little bit. So here I am in my initial startup of star. And then I expand back. Do you see that? Go ahead and bring your arms down. Give it a try. Come up first. And now reach back. Come up and then down. Let's do star one more time together. Reach your arms out and up first. And now lean back and lift your heart. Beautiful. And then come on down. So a lot of this. When we think about in the yoga side of things, when we think about a back bend, a lot of times we have a picture in our head of maybe a real young person who has that flexibility to truly do a full back bend. That's not necessary. And it's actually harmful to the back. What we want to do when we think about back bend is we want to think about lengthening and extending. So again, I'm going to turn just slightly, and I'm going to show you the variations of where we're going to go with this and the back bend. And you can decide for yourself how far you want to take it. So we're going to start seated, straight spine. And I'm going to just demonstrate. So listen to my voice and watch along, and then we'll do it together. So the first step of a back bend would be just to lift my nose. So you can see I have a little bit of a extension here through my throat. And now if I wanted to make it bigger, I would tuck my shoulders down and lift my sternum up to the sky. My eyes go even higher. And if I want even more, I can hold on to my chair and lean way back and lift my nose. And then to come out of it, I lower my chin first, and then I bring my hands back around. So we're gonna play with this back bend, but I want you to go where it's comfortable, because getting fully back doesn't really do anything but hurt our bodies, and we don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna stick with just the middle ground. So I'm gonna bring my hands behind me just to support me. So I'm kind of leaning back on my hands. And I'm gonna start to draw a line with my nose up. And then my sternum goes up, and I'm going to stay right about there. Not a huge back bend. You can feel the skin on your chest pulling and opening, and that's enough. Take one more breath, and now straighten your spine, and we're here, okay? So it's a beautiful practice to open up the heart. So I want you to think of this in a couple ways. When we live in balance, we are equal in our ability to give and to receive. But oftentimes in our life, we give way too much and we don't receive well. And it can be, I don't receive a compliment well, I don't receive help well. I want to be one of those people that does everything for themselves. And so that creates an imbalance in our spirit. And so in today's practice about cultivating goodness and becoming goodness and giving goodness, I want you to remember the concept of what you give, you get. What you give, you get. So in your right hand, I want you just to lift your right palm like me. And I want you to picture in your hand something good that you want to give the world today. That might be a favor for a neighbor. It might be kindness for somebody who you've had difficulty with. It might be compassion for maybe somebody you know that's really struggling. It might be love for your partner or your friend. It might be just small, tiny, little things like a smile, something that you can give today, rather than giving anxiety, negativity, feeding worry, talking about things in the world that are frightening and scary. What if today you said, I'm going to give goodness. I'm going to give goodness today. And I'm going to have goodness at the forefront of my consciousness, the decisions I make, the words I speak, the thoughts I have. I'm going to have goodness. What if you could do that? Perfect. And now your left hand is our receiving side, our left side of our body tells the world, I want to receive something. And so as we give to the world's goodness, we are also able to receive it. So I want you to think for yourself in this hand, your left hand, what is something that you could receive today? What is something you need today that would help you? And what's so neat about this concept is that as we give, there will be something you receive. As I give you compassion, you're going to receive kindness. It might not be my kindness, it might be somebody else's. But when we put our awareness into what we give, we receive, we become balanced, and we're changing the world by being kind. So don't be afraid to take kindness. We all need something, and it's beautiful. So we're going to come to that to finish up our practice now. So we're going to take our right hand, and I want you to flip the palm, and you're going to scoop into your heart whatever it is you're going to give the world today, and you're going to circulate it out like you're throwing fairy dust. You're going to dip into your heart, and you're going to give it away. Do that again. Dip into your heart. What are you giving today? Throw it out like you're sprinkling it in your neighborhood. You're sprinkling it in your family. You're sprinkling wherever you live. And now make it go bigger into your state, into your community, into your world. What are you giving today? Dip into your heart and throw it out there. I'm giving so much patience today. So I'm going to dip it in and I'm going to throw it out there. One more. Dip it in, throw it. Perfect. Okay, so you've just given a piece of your heart. Magic. Now you're going to take your left hand, and in your left hand you are going to receive something. And as we practice this together, somewhere across the world, somebody just gave what you need. So think about what you need today. And now you're going to reach out and pull it into your heart. Reach out and grab it and pull it into your heart. I need understanding today. So I'm going to reach out. I know somebody has given it. I know for certainty that somebody has given understanding because they have a strong abundance of it today and they gave it away. So I'm going to grab it and pull it into my heart. I'm going to do that 5 more times. Maybe you need compassion. Maybe you need kindness. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need positive thoughts. Whatever it is, I can almost guarantee that somebody in the world has enough to share. Do 1 more. Beautiful. Bring your hand down. I want you to take your hand and just place it right on top of your chest. You might be able to feel the heartbeat, your physical heart. Maybe you have a pacemaker. It doesn't matter, but you're feeling yourself alive. And now I want you to spread your palm a little bit wider on your chest. I want you to feel your goodness. I want you to feel the potential that you have to change lives by giving goodness. That's a powerful thing. It's a really powerful thing. You have the power within you to give goodness, and you also have the power to receive it. It's a choice. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about what you chose to give away, and I want you to go out and give it. And then on the receiving side, I want you to take what you need because there's plenty. There's plenty, and that creates that balance that we've been talking about all month long. And that's a beautiful thing. So when we come to our yoga practice, we make sure that everything that doesn't belong in our space, that's negative, stays on the outside. And we've just spent 40 minutes pulling in goodness and giving out goodness. So as you go through the rest of your week, sit tall, shoulders back, know that you give and you receive. And when we do that, we create harmony. And when we are harmonious people, we are better able to be resilient to life stress. We're healthier. We're just better people. So think about shoulders, think about your heart. Come into one of those postures just randomly throughout the day. If you feel like you need to chase your dreams, you go into a bow and arrow. If you feel like you need to shine bright, come into star. If you want to be free, be a bird. If you need to push out negativity, come to what you know. You're getting so good at this practice, so keep practicing and keep knowing just how good you are. So it's wonderful to see you, and I look forward to the next video. We're going to change it up a little bit next time. I appreciate you, and have a beautiful rest of your day. And remember, you too are a giver of goodness. I'll see you later.